Hi guys, so Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister for Scotland, was challenged on her government's response to the coronavirus pandemic today. So let's hear what was said at the Scottish Parliament.
First Minister, the World Health Organization could not have been clearer at the start of this crisis. It told you, and it said it, the priority was to test, test, test. Yet for care homes, with this SNP government, it has been dither, delay and distract. The tragedy is this: Scotland has the capacity to test. Indeed, if you had used that capacity effectively since the end of April, you could have tested all the residents and staff at care homes twice. Instead, capacity is being squandered, and care home workers and residents who have already endured the horror of this crisis are being let down all over again.
This Scottish Member of Parliament is a Tory. So he's attacking the Scottish government for not test, for not following the World Health Organization advice. And he's from the Conservative Party. He's from Boris Johnson's party. Talking about people living in glass houses not throwing stones.
Why, 2 weeks on from a promise to test all care home staff, is this government still not getting it right?
First Minister.
I'm sorry, Presiding Officer, but the WHO on care homes did not say what Jackson Carlow has just alleged and asserted. In fact, and I'm sure, given that he's based his questions on this today, he has read the WHO guidance that I'm about to refer to here.
Of course he hasn't. He's not there to read documents. He's there to attack you. That's what is decided in London. London get on the phone to him and say, attack the Scottish First Minister. We need to take her down. She's embarrassing us. She's making us look like idiots.
The WHO issued technical guidance on infection prevention and control in long-term care facilities on the 21st of March. And all of the guidance that the Scottish Government has issued from the 13th of March, which we updated on the 26th of March and then updated again, I think, in May, has been consistent with the guidance, the technical guidance that the WHO has set out, and we will continue to.
And this is the difference between what's happening in Scotland and what's happening in London. The WHO advice, I have a problem with it. I think a lot of the advice was bad. But remember, I'm not an expert, so my criticism may not be placed accurately. But if the WHO had said you should do X and the Scottish Government did X, then it was following the advice. Now, the Tory MP here was saying that she weren't following the advice. But you have to look at England, where they were not following any advice. They were making up their own advice, and they were following that. So you can't criticize bad advice or insufficient advice coming from the WHO and the SNP government following it, because that's what they did. While at the same time, across the border, your party is ignoring advice from the WHO, ignoring advice from the European Union, ignoring advice from everyone else, but deciding to go it alone.
To make sure that we adapt our approaches as any evidence and advice that comes from authorities like that change in the future. So we will continue to take the careful and considered steps that we are taking. We will not shy away from the challenges that we face and the unprecedented situation we're dealing with. But the Scottish Government will continue to take that careful, cautious approach, making sure that we, as we have done, build up our testing capacity, but also crucially use testing in a way that is clinically driven. And that is the responsibility I take seriously and will continue to do so.
Which is not being taken seriously in London. She's saying that we're going to take it seriously, we're going to take it slowly, while in England, scientists have been begging with, not politicians, but scientists have been begging with the Boris Johnson's administration to slow down, not to ease the lockdown so quickly, to do more testing, to do more tracing. But they're not listening to the advice. They're not listening to these scientists. They have decided we're going to go our own way. And they're their friends in Scotland are criticising someone who's actually doing the right thing, who's actually following the advice. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.